When editing and mixing your project, there are some track options that you can use to actually edit all of the project within GarageBand. So let's go ahead and look at that. We'll close out the library since we won't be needing that at this time. And we'll close the musical typing and we'll just go through these one by one. So if we go to the top and we go to the track tab and click on it, you can see that there are 5 types of tracks within GarageBand that we can edit the whole project for. So the first is going to be the arrangement track. When we click on that, you will see a little pop-up in the area and it'll say arrangement with a plus sign. When we click that plus sign, it's going to give you a little gray bar with a title, and right now it's called intro. And if we click on the arrow next to that, you can change the different names or rename it to whatever you want. Now basically this is just a way for you to create arrangements and give them names so you know what part of the project you're working on. If it's a song, you can call it verse, chorus, bridge, and then verse, chorus, however the song is arranged. If it's a movie or something like that, you could actually give it a name by the section of the movie that you're talking about. So we'll just do intro for the first part, and say you go ahead and you create a little piano intro, and then you go into the verse. So you would just click on the plus sign again, and it's going to add the verse, and you can change this, say maybe it starts out at the chorus or it goes into a bridge. And you can just add these, and it's just an easy labeling way for you to know what part of the song that you're working on. And you can resize these to any size that you want. And when you resize them in the middle, they're going to drag together. So there's not going to be any empty space. You would just need to rename it something blank if you don't have a name for it, or try to call every part of the arrangement something at least. So we'll go ahead and hide that. That's the arrangement track. Next we have the movie track. And the movie track is a great feature that allows you to actually edit audio for movies within GarageBand. We won't go real deep into this at this time since this is more of a beginner type course, but basically you can bring a movie into GarageBand and create sound effects, or you could have an audio track or a music composition going on in the background. We'll go ahead and just load one up real quick so you can see what it looks like. So I'm just going to click on the arrows over here and click on Open Movie. What we'll do, I'll just grab one that for this that I recently recorded. We'll just open up the Amp Designer project. This is another lecture that I recorded previously. And you can see it's going to bring up a big movie screen. So let's go ahead and just resize this down so we can see what's going on here. Okay, so here's our movie, and we can play and scrub down here at the bottom, or we can play and scrub at the top. Now, you can see that it has created the audio waveform, and you can see little thumbnails. I don't believe that you can actually resize this at this time, but you can see the audio waveforms and some thumbnails to help you along. Now, when you scrub the playhead, you can see the movie's actually changing at the bottom. You can see the waveform of where we're at in the project, and so on. So I can go and find a part of this movie. I can scrub down here, and you can see it's going to change it at the top too. So, just say this was a movie where we wanted some sound effects right here. I can come in here, find this part, add in a new track, and add my composition. I could also create an arrangement track, which we just looked at, and name this marker right here so that I know that I want to add sound effects. So I might put a little note in here, add sound effects, or call it whatever part of the movie is. So that is the movie track. It's a great way for you to add audio to your movies. And like I said, it can be a music video. It can be voiceover work if you're doing voiceover work for a commercial or something of that nature, and you want to have different parts of your voice in different parts of the actual commercial. You could do that easily here with the movie track. It's a great feature of GarageBand to make edits in audio quick and easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide that. And we'll exit this. We'll delete this track. So we're not going to use it. Next we have is the transposition track, and this is just kind of like we looked at before when we were dealing with audio and MIDI waveforms and transposing audio. Basically, it's going to let us adjust the audio up or down, but this is going to be across the whole project. So if you had a song, say it's in the key of C, and you wanted to make another version in the key of D or E, you could just easily transpose it and export that out nice and quickly without having to adjust every single audio file within the project. If you want to see how that sounds, we'll just bring in a loop real quick. Let's see, we'll just pick one of these noodles here. So now I can take this and move it up, say 2 semitones, and play it back. Okay, or I can go down. So let's go down 4 semitones so you can hear a big difference. So this is a quick and easy way for you to transpose the whole composition of your audio project nice and easily. That way it changes everything, and you can just, if you've created a song, you could actually have it transposed in all the different keys and send it out that way, and whoever's using it could use whatever key that they would like. So we'll close that. Could have left that last. We'll have to bring that back in for the tempo. But the next one is the tempo track, and this is basically going to let us change the tempo so that we can actually speed up and slow down our projects within the project itself very easily. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make some copies of it. Gotta select, don't need you, select the track, there we go, okay. Back up. Okay, so you can see that we have 120 beats per minute, and that is what is at this blue line right here at 120 beats. And I can select and adjust this however I want. And when I change it here, you can see it change up here also in the LCD display. So now let's say we have that going on for 4 measures, but then we want to speed this up. So I can hold the command button, and we have our pencil, which we're used to using in the past lectures. And I'm just going to click on this measure here, and it's going to add a point. Now when it adds this point, I can move this up or down, which is going to speed up or slow down this track. So let's just crank it up a lot here. Let's go. And you can see as I keep adjusting it, it keeps readjusting for me for the beats. 150 is going to be pretty quick, so you should hear a good difference here. So let's play that and hear how that sounds. And we can keep doing that as much or as little as we would like, and just keep adding, faster and faster tempos throughout this project, which is just a really cool way to adjust the whole project's tempo as we see fit. Okay, and finally, we'll hide that one. We have the master track at the end, and this is just going to allow us to adjust the volume and the panning throughout the whole project or composition. So we could pan this whole project to the left or right, or adjust the volume up or down based on the master track. You can also use automation within any of these tracks, but within the master track also. So if we turned on the automation button, we could actually adjust the volume, the pan, effects, output, and so on in automation with the master track, and it's going to affect everything within that composition. So that is some ways that you can actually adjust the project as a whole with these different types of tracks: the arrangement track, the movie track, transposition, tempo, and the master track.